Geil. Und sauber sind wir auch noch. Auf zum Krankenhaus. Analysiere William Bishops Blut im Krankenhaus. Aktualisierung der Mission. Ich habe Dr. Swanseas Hilfe angenommen und werde im Pembroke Hospital arbeiten. Ich hatte keine Wahl. Der Mann weiß von meinem Zustand und dass ich ein Vampir bin. Ich kann es nicht glauben. Ich weiß nichts über dieses abgeschiedene Krankenhaus. Jeder hier wird mich für das halten, was ich nicht länger bin, nämlich für Jonathan E. Reed, den berühmten Arzt. Ich muss sie alle belügen. Die Patienten, die Belegschaft, dies ist jetzt mein neues Zuhause. Mein Versteck von jenem, die hinter mir her sind. Mein Versteck vor der Außenwelt, bis ich verstehe, was mit mir passiert. Betritt das Pembroke Hospital. Achso, das ist... Ah, okay. Also das ist dann das. Habe ich hier alles erledigt? Geil. Mission abgeschlossen. Wie geil das angezeigt ist hier, ne? Das ist ja total cool. Schön herausstechend. Gut, ich frage mich aber, was kann ich denn eigentlich mit dem ganzen Kram hier machen? Die habe ich noch lange nicht alle kennengelernt. Unterschlüpfe, ne? Ich frage mich, was ich hiermit machen kann. Hier Plunder. Plunder kann ich verkaufen. Na denn. Wir gehen mal ins Krankenhaus rein.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, all right.
You can do better than that. It's my turn.
Rotten or crusty, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Okay, Clay Cox. Drücke für Details. Qualität des Blutes. Die Blutqualität deutet an, wie viele EP du von einem bestimmten Bürger erhältst. Je höher die Blutqualität ist, desto mehr EP erhältst du. Mesmerisieren. Um das Blut deiner Beute auszusagen, musst du sie zunächst in den Band ziehen, um sie so an eine Stelle zu führen, die andere Bürger nicht sehen können. Deine Bandstufe muss genauso hoch wie oder höher als der Widerstand des Bürgers sein. Drücke LB, um Clay in dein Band zu ziehen. Folge der roten Spur, um dein Opfer in den Schatten zu bringen. Belocherung des Blutes. Drücke A und wähle, ob du Clay Cox entweder aussagen oder loslassen möchtest. Wenn du ihn aussaugst, wird er dir eine große Menge EP gewähren. Jedoch hat das Konsequenzen. Sei dir dessen bewusst. Je mehr du über Bürger weißt und je mehr Hinweise du über sie findest, desto mehr EP geben sie dir. Lass ihn los. Wir wollen nämlich nicht so ein...
Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Whoa, I feel giddy.
Ja. Spannend. Wieso hat er...
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Okay. Lazarettzelte hier überall.
Good
Krass.
evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Okay.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Der unsichtbare Feind?
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Könnte das Krankenhaus versagen?
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Bitte, wieder falsche Taste. Ich drücke mal Start. 2500 EP, okay. Stufe 5. Personenkreis kennen wir noch nicht. Blake Cox. Den müssen wir echt noch ein bisschen herausfinden. Aber der hat auch nur 1, ne? Er hat 6. Wo sehe ich denn eigentlich unsere Stärke? Stufe 3. Stufe 1. Bandstufe 1. Okay, wir sind auch ganz, ganz schlecht da drin. Erzählen Sie mir vom Personal.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Okay, jemand, der besonders hervorsticht.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Triple Zocker YouTube, moin!
I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Neuer Hinweis verfügbar. Okay.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Oh, okay. Schade. Ein paar persönliche Fragen. Ui. Ja, wir müssen sie noch ein bisschen kennenlernen.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Okay, wir haben ja jetzt hier Dr. Cochrane Tippis. Die Qualität, achso, Nick Cochrane strapaziert sich und weigert sich, die Arbeit niederzulegen. Oh. Okay. Das ist Dr. Cochrane. Habe ich da nicht eben auch noch was gesehen? Clay Cox. Okay, das war's. Eine Glasfiole. Bin mal gespannt, was wir mit dem ganzen Kram eventuell noch anfangen können. Erstmal weg vom Krankenhaus hier. Hier riecht's nach Tod.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Okay, da gehe ich doch noch nicht hin. Bleiben Sie zu Hause. Influenza. Häufig von Lungenentzündungen begleitet. Bleiben Sie zu Hause, um die spanische Grippe in jedem Fall zu vermeiden. Willkommen in der Neuzeit. Auch dieses Spiel ist super aktuell, finde ich irgendwie. Wo geht er jetzt hin?
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Jetzt schon.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Das ist ja nett. Aber wie schnell das ging, dass wir ein eigenes Büro haben. Jetzt sind wir hier bald Chef. Ich habe aber einige Fragen.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
Wie geht es Mr. Hampton?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Okay. Wer ist eigentlich Dr. Swansea?
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
No, nicht so negativ.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Okay. Wo ist mein Raum?
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Okay.
Thank you,
Vielen Dank.
Nurse Crane.
Nurse Crane. Warum taucht die hier nicht auf? Ach doch, hier Dorothy Crane. Bürgermenü. Unbekannte Bezirke. Dr. Cochrane.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Wie ist denn Ihr Leben in London? Wie ist die Lage hier?
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Okay.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
Okay.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Was? Wie mies war das denn? Auch wieder falsche Taste gedrückt. Cochrane ist überzeugt, dass Gwyneth Brannigan als Schwester überqualifiziert ist. Okay. Okay. Was haben wir hier? Gwyneth ist laut Cochrane Tippets als Schwester überqualifiziert. Dann sollten wir vielleicht mal mit dem Chef sprechen. Vielleicht kann er da ja was für sie machen.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Okay.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Okay. Okay, wir brauchen noch ein paar Hinweise.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
It is now on them.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Okay.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Über ihn wissen wir immer noch nicht mehr. 2 Hinweise. Ein Hinweis, kein Hinweis. Erschöpfung. All mit Behandlung gegen Erschöpfung. Ach so, okay. Wen haben wir denn hier?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Oh, okay. Aber erzähl mir doch erstmal was über dein Leben hier. Wie ist die Lage?
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Meistens.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Hey?
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped from the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Okay, neue Untersuchung.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Okay. Mal schauen,
I'd
was
like
hat.
to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Mal schauen, was hat. Miltons Schrotflinte. Nur ein bisschen Munition. Wie viel Geld haben wir eigentlich? 48 Schillinge, ne? 315, okay, dafür brauchen wir ein bisschen mehr. Und wir nehmen die Schrotpatronen mal alle mit. Da ist jemand Unbekanntes. Dr. Cochran. Wir haben eine ganze Menge Leute, die wir kennenlernen können.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Wir reden erstmal mit ihr. Einer
Good
Schwester.
evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm
Hello.
Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Wie ist die Lage?
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Reißen Sie sich zusammen, Mann.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Ja, so ist das mit einer Epidemie, ne? Wie lange sind Sie bereits Krankenschwester?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
So. Sie wären überrascht.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Okay. Wie kommt das Personal denn zurecht?
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Okay. Warum hat er denn so schlechte Laune?
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Okay. Neuer Hinweis. Miltons Ruf unter seinen Kollegen ist eher mittelprächtig. Okay. Wieso gerade etwas gegen Ärzte?
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
Okay. Mal etwas über dich. Okay, wir haben nichts. Okay, auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Okay. Thomas Elwood. Wie gefällt es Ihnen bei uns?
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Okay.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Okay.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Oh Mann, der arme Typ, ey.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Der arme Thomas Elwood. Boah, sein Gesicht sieht aber auch krass aus, ey. Na gut. Keine Fragen bestimmt? Ne. Da waren wir übrigens auch eben gerade erst drauf. Der arme. Ui, die sieht auch fertig aus.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Okay. Aber erzählen Sie mir doch mal, wer sind Sie wirklich?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Ich glaube nicht, dass sie eine Vampirin ist. Das würde sie merken, dass wir auch kein Sterblicher mehr sind.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Schreiben Sie mir dieses Gefühl.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Haben Sie je vom Cotard-Syndrom gehört?
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh,
Okay.
sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Thelma leidet unter dem Cotard-Syndrom und glaubt, sie sei eine Vampirin. Okay.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
All bad.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Okay.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Na denn. Neue Untersuchung. Schön. Ein paar persönliche Fragen, die mir nicht beantwortet werden. Guck mal. Achso, das war ja der eine Hinweis. Okay, okay. Den haben wir, die haben wir, das haben wir.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Herrin der Dunkelheit.
My blood boil with fever.